Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Tiki Talka, another World Cup edition. I'm Joseph. That's Travis. Welcome back, Michael. Here's a quick preview of what we're talking about today.
Before a ball was kicked, where would you have put Ghana in the group?
We have an opportunity to do something special. You can't risk it by going back to the old things that haven't worked.
These teams are legit. African football has caught up. Everyone has their own version of how they want to play football, and it can beat you if you don't want to respect it.
How far of a run do you see Ghana making?
If we try to go toe-to-toe with Colombia, we'll get ripped in the first 30 minutes.
If we beat Colombia, we're going to beat whoever is next.
This is the World Cup. One-off game, anything can happen.
Why is Ayew still getting picked? It just makes no sense.
There's a lot of talk on the streets that it's down to nepotism because what his father has done for the nation. The FA feels like they still owe that family.
Is it now too late to drop Ayew from the 11?
He's not the quickest. He hasn't had a shot on goal in 3 games. I don't know what more the fans need to do to let Carlos know there's a change that needs to be made.
Name one player that's going to say, hey, I'm done. I don't got it anymore. No shot that happens.
No pro footballer is ever going to admit that the football's left him. All right, guys. As you can see, today we're going to be going over Ghana in the World Cup, reviewing some of the matches that have happened so far, and also just seeing their overall chances. Michael will be our expert on Ghanaian football. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me once again.
All right, so let's kick this off. Let's talk about Ghana.
So, talking about Ghana, Mohamed Kudus, who I've liked for 2 years back when he was on West Ham, he kind of fell off before he got the move to Spurs, but he does have moments where he does show this is why you signed me. I'm worth the money that I was worth. Do you think the whole team changes when he's healthy and can play in the starting 11?
100%. He's very dynamic, and his role with Ghana is obviously different from what it is with Tottenham. For Ghana, he's been passed the torch by Asamoah Gyan to be that focal point for the team. And with him not being in the team, it's very noticeable. We don't have a ball carrier. The only one that is somewhat of that is Semenyo. Now, the issue with Semenyo is he's playing on the wing. We need somebody that can drop in between 8 and 6, pick the ball up, and just explode. We don't have that. And so now we have to be a little bit more defensive-minded. And I think someone like Kudus being out has really impacted us negatively. And if he was playing right now, we would see a more free-flowing from Ghana.
But when you watch the games, Ghana's very solid defensively, right? Just thinking off big-name players, Partey. I wouldn't call him the hardest of the team, but he does lead the defense. As soon as it leaves him, then you got to get it to Naki Williams. And he's great, but he's not the same Williams from 5 years ago. He's definitely not his little brother. You have to rely on a 34-year-old Jordan Ayew to be the number 9. Just walk with me in this hypothetical. Where does a front 3 of Nico Williams, Semenyo, and Mohamed Kudus, where does that Ghana end up in this World Cup? Because I just feel like that team would be unplayable, man. You can't stop that attack.
I think combining that with the defensive unit that we have, I think we'll look a little bit like the Ivorians in terms of stability. I think that we would cause a lot of trouble. People have their opinions when it comes down to African teams, but when you have to go toe-to-toe with a lot of these African teams, you have to deal with pace. You have to deal with some things that are unorthodox. It forces a lot of these European teams to really adjust their game plan quicker than they anticipate. And with the front 3 that you named, it's going to test you. It's going to have you thinking. It's really going to have you backtracking, right? And a lot of these European teams do not like that. Sometimes these South American teams don't like that either, right? And I think that with the front 3 like that, you'll really see the best of Africa. You will see that we're not only physical, but we can also be very dynamic in attack. Obviously, when it comes down to the technical side of things, we'll just have to give kudos to a lot of the European giants, right? Germany and Portugal, France, and etc. But that front 3 that you named, I think could cause a lot of trouble, and that could have potentially been, one of Africa's first semifinalists for sure.
Yeah. I mean, so swap Nico out with Inaki. Do you think that's still just as good as a front 3 that could take Black Stars very deep into a World Cup?
Honestly, yes, I'm that confident, and I say that because we've done it before. We've gone all the way to the quarterfinals when we didn't have the best of the best, but we had players that had experience, and I think it boils down to that. Looking back, you don't really have to worry too much because outside of the Croatia game, we really kept our opponents very, very quiet. So
I was surprised that Ghana lost to Croatia, honestly, just given how they played against England. You would have thought the English were going to put belt to ass, but Ghana said, no, you need to beat us. We're not going to give you anything cheap. I think it's true for Ghana and all of African football is that there's still this perception that it's about a decade or so behind where you just have to be cute and you can get past these teams. Look at all these teams that have now qualified in advance. Like, no, you can't be cute anymore because the entire world is caught up to Europe. Everyone has their own version of how they want to play football, and it can beat you if you don't want to respect it. But I want to stick more on the attacking side of Ghana. I did not know that Jordan Ayew was in persona non grata, enemy number one for the FA. Can you please enlighten me? Why he's so disliked?
I think it just it comes down to his ties with his father. Abedi Pele is one of Africa's greatest players.
He's from like the greatest footballing family, right?
Yes, he is, and I think that because of the expectations that his father had set, and also his elder brother, a lot of people are looking at what he's doing currently, and they just feel like it's not enough. It's frustrating, right, for us fans because we're looking at the bench and we've got players that can come in and make an impact instantly. Now, what's difficult is that Jordan Ayew is also our captain. So that we bench our captain.
Why is Ayew still getting picked? It just makes no sense. Like, you're captain for sure, but captains get dropped. They come and go. Why is it so hard to cut off the Band-Aid?
There's a lot of talk on the streets that it's down to the nepotism, obviously, because what his father has done for the nation. The FA feels like they still owe that family, and it's one of those things where it's subjective. It comes down to how you feel about the family as a whole. I personally feel as though we can get a lot more out of the younger players on the team. When it comes down to Jordan Ayew saying, "Hey, look, I don't think I'm up to par with these guys." And the game has left me. It comes down like the ego, pride, and just feeling like, you can still deliver, but you can't. And he's not the quickest. He hasn't had a shot on goal in 3 games. I don't know what more the fans need to do to really let Carlos know that there's a change that needs to be made. But it's a bit difficult when it comes down to mention the captain. It has to come from the captain himself.
You have to know when the game's gone, but that can't be on the captain. Name one player that's going to say, hey, I'm done. I don't got it anymore. No shot that happens.
No pro footballer is ever going to admit that the football's left him.
Yeah.
Never, not a shot.
There's a lot of politics behind the scenes. So it really does have to come down from Ayew because it's one of those things where if Ghana goes on to lose and Ayew doesn't play, then that argument could be made, well, maybe if he was up top. It's tough. If we go in without Ayew, it's a different story, right? It's like, well, why didn't we do this from the get-go? So,
is it now too late to drop Ayew from the 11?
I don't think so. You've seen what he can do, and honestly, it's not that much. We have an opportunity to do something special. You can't risk it by going back to the old things that haven't worked. So it comes down to, do you want to win? Are you focusing on politics? What is it?
So if you're the gaffer, what are you doing?
I'm dropping him.
That was quick, dude.
I'm dropping him.
That was quick,
Wait, 1
dude.
second. So, Michael, as a gaffer, would you say they have to be Ghanaian, or are you open to keeping international managers moving forward?
I've always said it's best if the gaffer is local. If it doesn't work out, you can kind of not blame him as much. I think that if you're a native, you take pride in what's going to happen. It means a little bit more. It's deep. It's more than just football at that point. So as much as I do appreciate the knowledge that's passed on from these international guys, I just feel like a lot of times there's a little bit of something missing. And if you're even looking at the statistics, right, a lot of the people that have gone on to win the World Cup have not been from outside. They've been from the country itself. So
here's my next question for you. Good old Thomas Partey. His visa wasn't approved for that first Canada game due to what's going on over in Spain. You beat Colombia. Your next game is back in Canada. So how badly does that affect your game plan?
I definitely feel a little bit more confident in the next round than I do against Colombia without Partey. I say that because Colombia, they're very athletic, and you need somebody as comfortable on the ball as Partey is, someone that can kind of dictate play. We saw what he did against England, and I, rate the England midfield highly.
As you know, you got to beat the U.S. to move on to the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2010.
Yeah.
Is this team better than 2010?
No. That 2010 team was special. That 2010 team had everything, and
even in terms of talent.
Yes, 100%. Because we had the likes of Muntari and Essien in the midfield. And then up top, we got my Samoa John, defensively, Jonathan Mensah, John Pinto, and then in goal, Richard Kingston. These guys played in the Prem. These guys played the highest level. And these guys, not only technically were they gifted, but also just experience, right? And just the level of confidence. We definitely would have been, talking about Ghana differently. I think that squad was amazing. I think that team showed the progress that African teams had made as a whole.
Who would you drop in from that 2010 team into now?
Oh my goodness, I would love to have Michael Essien, Samoa John. I think first and foremost, a Samoa John up top. He is someone that can kind of create chances for himself, and I think we need a little bit of that grit nowadays. Someone that needs two defenders to occupy them, kind of take them out the game. And he is similar to Drogba, is someone that sacrifices for their teammates.
Okay.
I think that a lot of the African teams nowadays are kind of missing that. Senegal has a great team, but doesn't have a great forward. That's an issue that they have to deal with constantly.
Ooh, yeah. That's being kind to Nicholas Jackson. That has been very nice.
Yeah.
Michael, I want to ask you just a quick recap. Ghana finished third in the group. You guys played the likes of Panama, beat them. You tied England, lost to Croatia. Before a ball was kicked in this World Cup, where would you have put Ghana in the group?
Honestly, I had Ghana finishing third. I did feel like England was always going to be the outright favorite. I felt like Croatia, with their experience, and finished second. But I was thoroughly impressed with what we did, going toe-to-toe with the likes of England, going up against England and not even conceding a goal with the likes of Harry Kane up top. That surprised even myself, and we're very frustrated. They didn't get to play through us.
Honestly, Michael, to neutralize England the way you guys did, when I don't think anybody really gave you guys a chance, you guys looked solid. And to be able to draw that 0-0, I think a lot of people started gaining respect for Ghana at that point.
100%. And it's tough because a lot of times these African teams are written off, and people tend to forget that these guys also play overseas. You got guys that play in the big leagues, right? And so you have to kind of dissect it evenly. At the end of the day, we're all playing football, right? You cannot expect me to play quote unquote pretty football. No, you just have to make sure that I don't score against you. So it's disappointing sometimes to hear what these pundits have to say. And of course, it's subjective. They're entitled to their opinions. But if I play my style and I get a point, I've done my job at the end of the day.
I agree with you 100%, Michael. It's feels like Europe especially sees African football about 10 years in the past. And the thing is, 75% of all players playing in the World Cup from African nations trained in Europe. That's where they learned how to play football. These guys, part of the best clubs, best facilities, have some of the best training you can get. These teams are legit. African football has caught up. I'm looking forward to European nations facing African teams in elimination games and thinking it's going to be a cakewalk because they're going to get bullied and beaten. But I have another question for you, Mike. Semenyo, Abide Pele, and Essien. Who are you taking right now for the team?
I'd probably take Essien.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of the games nowadays are won in the midfield. And he is somebody that brings that grit that we're missing. Don't get me wrong, Partey can do exactly that. But Partey is more of a passer. He's more of a facilitator from that deep role. When it comes down to somebody that can get in there, cause mayhem, that's what we're missing.
I second that.
You don't think you need someone up top? You don't need.
I don't think so. The reason why I say that is because the game has kind of changed a bit. Even if you're not getting the goals from your 9, you can get it from set pieces.
I'm a little floored by your choice. I thought you were going to take Pele for sure. All right. Predictions for this Colombia game. How is this game going to go? Is it going to be up and down a basketball game, or is this going to be a real chess matchup?
I think the latter. If we try to go toe-to-toe with Colombia, we'll get ripped in the first 30 minutes. These guys fly their entire game. They're just good enough as a team that they don't really need that pep talk. We need to them break us down similar to what England is. If we go into the low block, we could cause them a lot of trouble and frustrate them. And I think that if we can get one goal on the set piece and we sit back the entire game, I think that's it for the entire game. That's what I would hope for. However, Colombia is a great team. The best thing to do is not concede in the first 15 minutes. If we can survive that, I think we have a chance.
That was going to be my point too. These South American teams, they like to give the shit, but they hate when you give it right back to them, dude. And African teams, one thing they're really good at is messing with your head. They live for that. They'll get a hard tackle. Sure, it's a foul, but say, hey, you felt that though, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be more of that for another 80 minutes. Colombia, They're fast. They love to play free-flowing football. I just don't see them lasting more than 40 minutes with getting bodies thrown into them without them having to freak out. It's going to be a lot tighter than people think.
Yeah.
So on that note, Michael, realistically, how far of a run do you see Ghana making?
If we do go past Colombia, I do see us winning an extra game. If it's the likes of Argentina in the quarterfinals, I think that's where it ends because we've seen it time and time again. Argentina with Messi playing top level football is just unbeatable. And I had a conversation with my father where he was like, why don't they keep one player and Messi the entire game? And I was like, well, that's not how it works because teams have tried it. But I think that if Ghana wins this game against Colombia, it's going to motivate us because you're essentially taking out a contender. Similar to how we felt after our game against England, we felt like we were unstoppable. Colombia is better than England in terms of playing as a collective. But if we beat Colombia, we're going to beat whoever is next.
That's a good call. I hate to keep saying I agree with you, Michael, but I totally agree with you that if you beat Colombia, the next game, Algeria, Switzerland, that's a cakewalk, dude.
Well, I wouldn't say cakewalk. That's a bit of a stretch. This is the World Cup. One-off game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, no, anything
Look
can
at today. Did anybody have Paraguay beating Germany?
No,
Dude.
not at all. But I will say this: we're not even surprised. I didn't bat an eye when they beat Germany. I watched Germany get Carousel in the first game and kind of looked like they were going to do something. They played Ivory Coast, and I was like, yeah, this team is easy to pick apart. They lost to Ecuador. They almost lost to Ivory Coast. So basically, the last two games before Paraguay, they played against teams that believes in themselves, high spirited teams, teams that play as a collective, and they struggled.
I'm excited to see more people freaking out on the pitch because that's been my favorite part of the World Cup. I want an African team to at least make it to the semifinal. I think this is probably the best chance anyone's ever had. My pick to win this World Cup is Senegal, so we'll see.
Good.
We'll see, man.
Okay.
We'll see what happens here. Why are you smiling at me, dude? Why are you laughing at that?
I don't know. Didn't look too convincing in the group stage. Yes, they were in a difficult group, but to say they're going to win it
They
all,
together for
I
like
don't know.
4 weeks, and they barely play together.
They
Mane-
could win the next two games. If they beat Belgium and face the US, they beat in the US for sure. 100%.
Hey, easy,
100%.
easy on that.
It won't even be fair. I'm telling
I
you
don't
right
want to
now.
play them, yeah, because they would smoke us, bro. It would kill us.
Oh wait, so do you want
They
to lose
can't-
to Bosnia?
They can't stop
Dude,
us with
why
our
are you
chance.
making me answer hard questions right now, bro? No, I don't want any of these scenarios. I want the US to win, and I want Senegal to win. Is that possible? We'll see.
Hopefully, we'll
We
see.
have the 12th man, guys. We have the 12th man.
USA.
USA, baby. My question is, who do you think is going to win this World Cup? Yes, we know it's the most wide open World Cup ever. Who do you have and why?
I think Argentina could repeat. These guys play not just for Messi, but they play for their country as a whole. I watched the way they go into tackles. It's not even 50-50. It's 90-10. These guys are clattering everybody they come up against. So I do think Argentina is the team to go all the way. I think second favorite, I would probably put France. And then third, I'll say Spain. I didn't name the likes of England because I'm not convinced by them. Never really have been. Never was convinced by Germany, and they showed it today. I don't think Portugal is that enough to really let us know what they can do. And I think the biggest issue with them is continuing to rely on the likes of Ronaldo. He's been great. You're 41 years old. You can't beat Father Time. I'm sorry. Messi can do a little bit more because he has always been a well-rounded player. That's just his game. He carries the ball very well. People talk about the fact that he's not hustling and this and that. He's walking on the field. He's scanning. He knows exactly what he needs to do. It's a 90-minute game. I don't need to be running for 90 minutes. I'm not a midfielder. Some people have figured out the game.
Some are playing the game. Some just are the game. Messi, he's the heartbeat of Argentina. And I agree with you, Michael, that CR7 is the greatest goal scorer of all time, bar none. There's no
100%.
one better at putting the ball in the back of the net than him. Now we're talking about footballers, pure footballers. It's Messi, Pele, Maradona. Those are the three best to ever do it. And that's just because Messi's game is always going to translate better as he aged because he wasn't his power, his explosiveness. Messi would just dribble to get out of any and every situation. He was never trying to take you on just to beat you for the sake of beating you. He's doing everything for a reason. I just want to leave it with this. I saw this great tweet, and it said, every time Jordan Ayew touches a football, another child decides that he does not want to play professional football anymore. And that's just what I want to leave on Jordan Ayew. Big guy.
Yeah. Jordan.
Well, on that note, that's all we have time for today. Thanks again, Michael. All right, guys. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that way you don't miss an episode. We'll see you on the next one of Tiki Talka.
Vamos España.
Take care.